Hello Factorio people, welcome back to the broadcast from Space Age. A semi-streamlined playthrough, walkthrough, let's play, tutorial, YouTube kinda thing. Hope you're doing alright. Today we were going to think about getting all the stuff that we need to go to Gleba and sort out a lot of Gleban science, agricultural science. So if you want to do the old like, comment, subscribe for me, and we'll jump straight into it. This is the Lunar 1. Hovering around Vulcanus, orbiting, I suppose, if you want to use the correct nomenclature. And we have asked it for a lot of legendary stuff. This is going to be our new personal ship that we use to fly around the place. It's hopefully working. I make a few changes to the design, as you can probably, as you'll see as we go. But the Vulcanus Legendary Mall is doing everything that we want, which is very nice. All the legendary stuff in high quantities, so we can go to places and build legendary builds of things. Legendary tungsten ore is ticking over nicely with the upcycling. Gleba, I mean, I'll explain it more when I get there, of course, but it was a bit weird, basically, what happened to me in this current play session. I have done some stuff on Gleba, well, quite a lot of stuff on Gleba, actually, but I ended up not doing the thing that I thought I would do at all. But I won't belabor the point. We're basically just hovering around Vulcanus in the Lunar one, waiting for all of the good stuff to come. Some of this, we need some extra stuff that we don't care about legendary quality of, arithmetic combinators, pipes, etc. And obviously this is not an exhaustive list. There's things on here I've likely forgotten. Glyph explosives. There's things on here I've likely forgotten, but it's a good start. It's a good start. Alright, so we'll just wait for this to turn up. Rockets are launching pretty quickly. If you remember, we're not making any rocket parts. We're not making the stuff for rockets on this planet now. We're just getting it from Fulgora in this big old ship here. So that's good. Okay, let's stop faffing around. Let's wait for all these deliveries to be done. Hey, this is a pretty good list of stuff. Logistics robots. I realise I need logistics robots at one point, but I'll put that there for you now, just, you know. This is a pretty good list of stuff. Cryogenic plants, probably some fusion power stuff here, but the thing with this ship that I really like about it is it's so fast. Right? It's exceedingly fast. I added some more tanks because we were using way too much fuel. 4 storage tanks of fuel was not enough. And I did put the clock down on the pump. So my original plan was to just have this go at full speed. 400 kilometers is about as fast as it can go if you don't limit the fuel throughput. But that was wrong for 2 reasons. One, it was absolutely chewing through the fuel, which meant I had to increase the storage, and, you know, I brought up legendary labs and things. You know, most of the stuff on here is legendary now where it's appropriate. Legendary cargo bays. Whoa, look at all of that cargo. We definitely need to do that for this ship, because this ship is just about on the cusp of that. So let's do the upgrade planner. We've got a blank upgrade planner in the book. We do. Let's try and remember that we need to start using that. Cargo bay to legendary cargo bay. There we go. What's happening? Oh, the bio eggs are hatching. That's fine. That's totally fine. Macabre, but fine. Yeah, so this was using a lot of fuel. A lot of fuel. Seem to have forgotten to put an output filter on these for just the iron. Whoops. and not also the asteroids, which has caused a bit of a problem down here, which might also be why we're running out of fuel, if only like 3 of these are doing the actual thing that I want it to do. Sometimes the stuff disappears, doesn't it? Sometimes it disappears completely, sometimes it goes into this, and I haven't quite worked out why it would do that. I think if it's on a belt, it disappears, where if it's in a machine, it goes in. A bit more buffer for these, and I'm going to make these stack inserter output the rockets to stack inserter just to get even more of a buffer. But as I say, like, let's go to Gleba. So I don't mind that these are full of fuel at the very beginning, just to get that initial speed burst, but then as the clock slowly the consumption of the fuel and the oxidizer goes down, but the efficiency goes up, but we still maintain a pretty decent speed. 200, 210, 210? No, still failing, falling. What? Am I dyslexic? Is this how I found out I'm dyslexic? Say a word in my head that kind of is spelt like the word I want to say, but 200 alright, 220. And not much fuel being used, so I think we could probably up this clock to be maybe 30 instead. Let's go 30. That will reduce the efficiency, but it will increase the thrust by quite a bit, and we can get places very quickly. It's Gleba, we're back. We're finally back on Gleba. So let's go down and think about what we may or may not want to do here. And I'll let this animation play out because I'm stalling for time. So, the plan was, and this is the same plan on all the planets, the plan was to completely remove all of the stuff that makes rocket components on each planet. Well, I say each planet. It's literally only going to be Gleba and Vulcanus, and we've already done Vulcanus. So Gleba we have to destroy. And upscale it in some way. Now this is vaguely anticlimactic in a way, because we can actually, it turns out, completely leave it alone. And if we drop down, if I drop some stuff down already. Oh my god, I got hundreds of biter eggs on me. It's because I'm doing this landfill farming. Let's talk about the landfill farming first. So there's artificial soil, which can turn wetland into plantable soil, and then there's overgrowth soil, which can turn anywhere in the biome. So any of this green land that's not... It's very confusing, right? This dark yellow you can plant on, this light yellow you can turn into dark yellow with this landfill, but then anywhere in the green, this colour green, not the water, even if you put landfill on it, which is very confusing, you can turn directly into this yellow with the overgrowth soil. So let's put a bunch of biter eggs, and where's the spoilage? Where's the beef? Spoilage. You can productivity module this landfill, strangely enough. Strangely enough. So this is what I start with, because I think that I'm going to need more space than just this, because this is, you know, this is pretty slow all in all. We do have a load of seeds in the stockpile, because Gleba's been ticking over for a long time. I have emptied them mostly out, so that's why they're not there, because they're all sort of in here, but whatever. It helps if you put the chests in the right place, pal. There you go. So yes, this is the overgrowth soil. And this is the landfill kind of artificial soil. It's very confusing. It's very, very confusing, but I find a good way to deal with it. Right, so what I was saying is that if we drop down some productivity, some speed, some legendary beacons, efficiency modules. We don't have legendary efficiency module Mark 3s yet because you need legendary spoilage, and obviously we've not got that. This currently makes 155 per minute, which is not very much. Because what we're currently aiming for is... I mean, blue is pretty much the one that is always keeping up. So blue is on 472. So we want to make at least that much. And it turns out, by pure coincidence, I can't say I planned this or anything. It turns out that all you need to do is remove this, put this legendary beacon down. You don't even need to put the speed modules in it. All this is doing is the efficiency modules, because the efficiency modules on a biochamber lower the nutrient drain. And then you change these, whoops, to mostly prod modules with, I think it's 1 speed in each I did. And that is 486 per minute, but because you've put so much more productivity in there, all you need to do is you just need to make slightly more pentapod eggs, which again you can do in the same way, just... I think that's huge overkill as well, but I actually slowed it down. I can't remember exactly how I did it. I'd have to look. When I load one of my future saves, I'll show you, but basically I got it up to 500. I know I can copy and paste this to just do this very quickly, but what can I say? I got distracted. Have I picked up a whole bunch of eggs? No. Okay. Yeah, that was it. Yeah. Efficiency modules, I think 2 is maybe overkill, although it's not. The max consumption down there doesn't say limit yet, so yeah. This is still the exact right number of eggs. It's still a very good amount of nutrients. Plus 51 a second, but that doesn't take into account what this actually needs to function. And then, all of a sudden, this is, you know, 486 agricultural science per minute. And I left this going for a little while, just to see, and it's totally fine. Now, it's not thousands upon thousands of science, which, you know, is ultimately what we want. But in the short term problem we were having with agricultural science is that when we were doing anything that needed it, because we were only grabbing 2,000 at a time from the with the Gleba shuttle, it was using that very quickly. Like if I bail on this and start researching plastic productivity, for example, the Gleba science goes down, but it gets chewed through so fast. Because this is using 518 actual science packs per minute. This is how I've decided it works. I'm not 100% sure if that's true, but this is using 518 science packs per minute, and then the effective science ends up being a combination of your lab productivity, your research levels of research productivity, and so on and so forth. So it doesn't take very long for the Gleba shuttle to run out of agricultural science, and as such, this chart just goes up, down, up, down, up, down, because it blitzes through all of the science extremely quickly, and then, you know, if we up this to 2,000, it's basically going to empty itself every single time it arrives back on Now Vis, and then... So if we can up the science on Gleba by a lot, by a decent chunk, and then just improve rocket throughput, we should be okay to really not do anything crazy. But Gleba being Gleba, you know, it still took me ages to work all this stuff out, because it's not really an easy task. And I spend a bit of time here just farming this overgrowth soil, just in case I need a bunch. Because you can see that the map is a bit like... we're kind of using the best spaces that we've got. We could turn this into it and get 2 trees there and so on and so forth. But I wanted to get a lot of this soil just because it seems a good thing to have. I had a bit more automation to it, just so that I'm not sat here hand feeding bio eggs and spoilage, but I still mostly am doing that, to be fair. What I'm currently doing is I've put legendary logistics chests at the very end of all of the, mostly at the end of all of the supply lines, just to run the complete, just to run it all through, you know, flush it all through. So I've cut off the supply of bioflux any further than we need it, because the bioflux is just going into these nutrients, and then any spoilage needs to go on and be turned and be gotten rid of here, but even that's a bit, you know, bit messy. All of the Yamako and jelly otherwise is going into these two bioflux modules to make all of the science. And as I say, like this, yeah, that was the module combination that I used, 486 with 216 eggs per minute. That's got those inserted assemblers in, so that's not really gonna... Yeah, minus 636 bioflux there, but this one of these modules makes 480. That number's a bit skewed because that's assuming that this bioflux to nutrients thing is running constantly, which of course it is not, neither are these two. So yeah, really you only need the bioflux for this, which is 216. Agricultural science is in fact dirt cheap, it turns out. As long as you don't have to, you know, take the products further down the line and turn them into copper, iron, plastic, lubricant, rocket fuel, sulfur to make everything you need to get off the planet, which is what we decided to do because we're masochists. The actual Gleban experiment is this space here, and even this is 500 science per minute without any legendary anything. Just a couple of beacons and some legendary productivity modules, which admittedly are the strongest thing in the game, a legendary productivity module, but so, you know, take that with a grain of salt. Yeah, so we're just gonna run the base dry basically, just get through all of this copper and iron and just demolish it once it's all done, and we'll continue to farm seeds. There is a way I was farming seeds, you can see here I've done it for a little bit. If I just put a nutrient... Ooh, that was strange, thanks autosave. If you just put a nutrient thing here and just ask it to plough through jelly nut processing with some productivity modules, and then also do one legendary beacon. This on its own gets the speed up to, so it's on 0.8 at the moment because of the productivity modules, but as soon as we power this, 13.3, 565% plus. And that's why we also have legendary bulk inserters. Look at them go! So this is a very quick way to, one, get seeds, and get seeds much faster than we were getting them before, because here we're, you know, this is only on 50% productivity, this is 150%. There's a chance that you get seeds every time these bars fill up. But it's also a very quick way to completely empty out, which is why this belt is full, because I got rid of the circuit condition to say this was usually on, you know, don't work unless there's unless there's 350, because that's basically what we were using, whereas now it's just working all the time and it can't keep up. But the only reason we're doing that on either of those two builds is to farm seeds, and then the rest of it, you know, just goes in the bin. But it's Gleba, everything goes in the bin on Gleba, but in the end, don't we all just go in the bin? Sorry, that's macabre. Macabre? That's the word of the day. Factorio is ostensibly a game about automation, so I decided it was probably a good idea to automate some of this stuff. So this is automating seeds. We're just burning the excess jelly. Yes, I've got loads of carbon in my inventory, thank you. We're burning the excess jelly. We're taking... we're processing jelly nut in this one if there is less than 1,000 spoilage in this. If there's more than 1,000, it goes around this way first, so it does go through everything it needs to, at least a little bit. This turns out should not be on spoilage, it should just be on the jelly specifically, and then once this processes a whole bunch of it, it gives it a few moments to empty it out, and we keep the seeds. It's mostly because the jelly nut processing is very fast. One jelly nut is 4 jelly compared to the Yamako, which is 1 Yamako for 2 mash. But then you need... what is it? Yeah, well, no, that's not true either. Oh, I don't know. I don't know why. I do know why. It's because I've got 2 of these trees, but I only ever planted 1 jelly nut seed tree. That's mostly why. This one is the one that dries up first. And, yeah. So we've got a decent amount of overgrowth soil going here. I've been sending Luna back and forwards between navis to pick up 1,000 eggs at a time. The egg thing, it works really well, what I've done here. And I was doing this for... this is the same system for the Prometheum science as well, so just, if you've seen this, apologies. But this rocket silo reads the orbital requests, send the orbital request to the circuit network, and then this arm only picks up eggs when there is a spaceship in orbit that requests them, and this one only empties eggs out of the box when there is not a spaceship in orbit that is requesting eggs. So when a spaceship arrives, this picks up a whole bunch. When that spaceship then leaves, this inserter reinserts them back into the system for recycling. Whoa, that's a lot of productivity modules. Also, that's even more productivity modules if you consider that on Luna there's another 200. So we're doing really well in the legendary gear game. So yeah, so what the best way I've worked out to use this stupid overgrowth soil is you need to take some landfill. I actually don't think you need to take the landfill, but still, some artificial Yamako and some overgrowth Yamako, and then what you do is you. In my experience at least, is you expand the Yamako one so it is the size of the agricultural tower, like this. And so then you can see, if it's red, it can't be placed at all. If it's green or yellow, it means it can. Green just means that I'm in the area, you know, I've got long enough arms. If I hold shift and make it a roboport instruction, then you can see more precisely. You know, red just won't ever go, the water's too deep. And that doesn't apply for the artificial soil, because the artificial soil can only be placed on the... turn my roboport off. Can only be placed on this colour. This colour is... the lighter... the white is where there is a plant. The lighter yellow is where you can place a plant. The middle yellow is where you can turn, which is soil you can turn into the lighter yellow, and then the green and the dark green and some of the blue, but not all of the blue, you can turn into dark yellow by using the overgrowth soil. You can't turn this water, so you can't turn... oh no, you can't turn any of the blue. Okay, it's not the blue, it's just the green, the dark green, and the mint green. Why is it so confusing? I don't know. So, but because the overgrowth soil is in such short supply compared with the artificial soil, the best way I've found to do it is to find the area that you want to use, with overgrowth soil, which will give you the whole thing. You know, like this will always work, providing you are in the biome and it's not deep water. Place it, turn your roboport back on, and then get the artificial Yamako soil out and place it back, and then that will just guarantee you that you're not spending any overgrowth that you don't need to spend. So yeah, so the red absolutely has to be overgrowth soil. There's no way around it. Whereas the green, I'm holding shift here just to get the instruction to fill the whole area. The red absolutely has to be the overgrowth soil. Whereas what is now turning green, it could have always been artificial soil. Does that make any sense? I hope that makes sense. Let me do it one more time, just to show you. So if you try and do artificial soil first and hold shift, like sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't, because you'll be in these lighter yellow areas. So like here, for example, and this is a terrible example because there's loads of water. Let's go over here where there is a big chunk of green. So like here it's never going to work. It's never going to work. None of it is ever going to work at all. Here some of it might work because this is the lighter green, whereas if you use the overgrowth soil it will always work, providing it's not deep water. Oh, for God's sake, it's so confusing. Providing it's not deep water it will work. And then you just replace the bits of the overgrowth soil that can now then be artificial soil so that you sort of get some of this back. Because this is easy to make, this is a lot harder to make. You need to get biter eggs around. It's very irritating. You know, it is irritating, I admit that, but it is what it is. I brought fusion power plant down, but because I'm such a stickler for efficiency, I have left the steam boilers going because for some reason I feel bad about destroying this before all the steam's gone. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me, to be honest with you. Yeah, okay, let's continue. It's gone! It's gone, it's all gone, except for the steam. The base is gone. Here's my base teardown thing. A bit more, this is in the utilities folder now, a bit more foolproof here. Just gets rid of everything that's not power supplies, roboports and radars, so that you can then, once you're done, use the right click to get rid of just get rid of what's left. Because obviously you want to keep these things here so that your robo network can tear it down for you. Yeah, and everything's still working alright. Farming lots of seeds. So Gleba's gone. This has been ticking over very nicely. We've been ploughing our way through asteroid productivity and plastic productivity and stuff that we've kind of not really been doing because we've only been making, what, 80 Gleban science a minute for the last 100 hours. Let's do a few milestones because I think... Oh, not quite. We are very, very close to 1 million automation science packs, if I remember correctly. Automation. 948,914. At some point in the next 2 or 3 save files, that milestone does pop. So yeah, that's good. We are playing very slowly. I mentioned this quite a lot, especially at the very beginning of the series. I'm a very slow player. You know, I'm just monging out in the evenings on this. Really, if I'm not playing Riichi Mahjong or asleep. That's my life. That's just who I am. I don't like to go out. I don't like to talk to people. I just want to stay in, listen to music, and play Factorio. Is that good? Is that a safe thing to admit? I don't know. The Riichi Mahjong banter is bleeding over into the Factorio videos. Sorry. Come and play Riichi Mahjong. It's fun. I promise. Did I make any? Have I made any more changes on this design? I don't think so. I think I maybe added some more laser turrets. I once again thought I would get away with not having to throw away asteroids into the ether, but you just can't. You can't not do that. It will always jam. So, yeah. This time we're using constant combinators just to send signals to say add this to the filter when there are more asteroids than 100 to it. And the only reason I did that is because there's only 2 spaces here and not 3. So I did 2 inserters and 3 combinators just so that I didn't have to do anything silly, like do 2 here and 1 on this side, for example. That was very... Do you really need to shoot those asteroids? I mean, I guess so. That is coming right for us. Somebody shoot it down! It's coming right for us! Guys, it's coming right for us, right off the starboard bow. Starboard? That's the right side, isn't it? Always remember it that port is left because port and left both have 4 letters. Which only works if you're English. Oh, the turret got it, don't worry, the turret got it. Even the turrets are good at shooting medium asteroids now, that wasn't always the case. Yeah, Gleba. Gleba. So, but we've torn Gleba down now, so I do want to do something while we're here. But I honestly don't think that going in on the legendary agricultural science right now is the best thing that we can be spending our time with. I think we finally ran out of power. Yeah, do you see the lights dim there? Do you see the lights dim suddenly as we finally finally don't have enough power. Don't have enough power to sort everything out. All right, we'll put the fusion power back in now. Okay. Yeah, I actually found it really difficult to think about how I'm going to do legendary agricultural science here, because legendary bioflux is an absolute nightmare. And I'll show you what I mean a bit later down the line, but short answer, it seems like maybe upcycling capture bot rockets might be the way to go, which is really irritating because I just tore down all the steel and the processing units. But we can get steel plates and processing units for basically free on Fulgora, so we might just do that. Maybe. Anyway, we'll talk about this more in a minute. In a minute. But I wanted to redesign the plants, the tree area, in a sort of future-proof kind of way. In a kind of future-proof kind of way. I don't understand why you can't cover this in landfill and then turn that into artificial soil or overgrowth soil. Like, it's really irritating to me that you have to... If it's water, you'll never ever ever be able to overwrite it with soil. Like, it's very unfair to me. Like, I just kind of thought that because this was the green biome, I would be able to just, you know, take this overgrowth soil and put it down in a big patch. But it turns out you have to also find a square that is completely dry as well, and as such I maybe should have used this space instead. Or I'm doing something wrong. I mean, it's quite clear that I don't really know what I'm talking about. So we're going to use a small standalone logistics network here for this. Plant some seeds. And I redesigned the Yamako module to make use of legendary stuff. Sorry it looks such a mess because of all of the alt icons, but beacons around the edge doing efficiency to lower the consumption. This does go down to minimum, but it's because it's nothing's powered yet. Oh no, wait, it is powered. No, it doesn't go down to minimum. That's a complete lie. Still, it goes down to a decent amount anyway. This will do stacked 3.2 transport belts. So not full with stack inserters, but enough. You know, decent enough for now. So let's wait. No, let's not wait. This is going to take forever. Let's bring some. Let's bring some from somewhere, shall we? And we'll have to bring some nutrients as well. Don't accidentally pick up any eggs, whatever you do. I think I got away with it. Egg? Why doesn't that search my inventory? That's really irritating. I guess it's not irritating. You press egg and then you go over here, right, and it would show you if you had it. Like if I do beacon, it would highlight the beacon on this side. Yeah, okay, that's fine. That's not a complaint. That balancer needs to be ever so slightly further down to make sure it actually balances, but whatever, right now it's not really an issue. So these stack inserters are very fast. Yeah, these stack inserters are very fast, even though they're not legendary. They can still. I don't know what's wrong with me. Sorry. They can still keep up with this quite easily. In fact, despite this being 48 of a thing a second, it can do that quite easily. So this should be a whole belt of Yamako mash with various contingencies to get rid of spoilage and reprocess some spoilage into nutrients should the whole thing completely run dry for whatever reason. And then we'll do the main nutrients with the bioflux in here. And then we'll do the same for the jelly nut, and we'll add some bioflux to it, and then we should be able to kick the whole thing off. Should be able to, anyway. And here it is. And it works. But it doesn't do anything that this doesn't already do. Arguably it looks nicer, makes more sense. It's more sensibly designed, in a way. But it's not, yeah, it's not legendary, or this is making 16, this is making 48 Yamaka Mash a second, this is making 192, so it is bigger, much bigger. The spoilage is currently going into this stupid legendary spoilage upcycler, because I've got to do something with it, and may as well make legendary spoilage for now. So yeah, like, if I want legendary bioflux, I either have to upcycle fruit into legendary and then get legendary Yamaka Mash Jelly Nut, which seems wrong. Because if you're going to do the upcycling of the fruit, you may as well just do the upcycling on the end product, right? So we could upcycle the bioflux. The problem with upcycling the bioflux is that we then also need legendary eggs on demand at the same time. Legendary bioflux does take a long time to spoil, but not, you know, infinitely long. 5 hours instead of 2 hours. But 5 hours if you get it, like, from fresh. That's a good question, actually. I don't know if you recycle a capture bot rocket, what spoilage time does the bioflux come out at? A quarter? Or just normal? Oh, it comes out at full spoilage. Okay, that's good to know. I didn't actually think to test that. Whereas if you recycle bioflux, it comes out at the same spoilage it went in, is that correct? Any second now. There we go. 1 hour 59:36, 1 hour 50. Yeah, it comes out with the same spoilage you put it in. So you could upcycle it as well if you were upcycling fresh bioflux. But as I say, I haven't 100% made a decision on what I'm going to do. All I really wanted to do was maybe see how big a build would have to be with all of these extra prod and speed and efficiency modules to get a fully stacked belt out. And it turns out not very much. It turns out. But I'm just going to leave this here. The seeds thing is still going. Yeah, the seeds thing is still going, but I haven't brought biter eggs back for a little while. Yeah, I don't quite know why I spent the time on this, because, as I say, it doesn't do anything that this is not already doing. All it really does is sort of like is a proof of concept later down the line for when I need a lot of it. It is 4 times as much as this, I suppose. You know, none of this is stacked. It's easy to forget that this is not a stacked belt, where these are all stacked belts. Plus, the individual modules are a lot nicer, you know, like... Admittedly, I've not done the best job of repurposing the spoilage. This doesn't work, by the way. You can't do this. It really bugs me that this doesn't do what you want. Because this stalls here. I mean, this is because this is full, but... that is not as foolproof as... this. If it's powered. You know, that's finding spoilage 2 or 3 sub-pixels down the belt that the splitter is not. The splitter is only checking the exact end of the belt, whereas this seems to be able to check 3 or 4 further up. Which does make sense. Okay, let's add a few more things to this. and we'll see what happens. It occurs to me that making rocket fuel on Gleba is probably better than shipping it in from Folgora, so all I've done is I've taken the planetary rocket parts. Oh, I've just realised that if I've named that like that, but that is actually a global one. Yeah. Okay. You got me. I'll have to fix that. I'll have to just call it Gleban rocket parts and call this one Vulcanus rocket parts. Or just call this planetary. Yeah, I mean it is only Vulcanus and Gleba that needs. We'll just have one. We'll just have it unique for each planet. It's fine. I was trying to be smart, but it doesn't actually work because on Gleba, yeah. So I'm making rocket fuel here just because we have an absolute preponderance of all of the stuff that we need to make rocket fuel, mostly bioflux and jelly. So it seems silly to ship rocket fuel in when it's extremely cheap to make on Gleba. Extremely cheap to make. This is jammed somehow. I think I manually filled it. I think that was a mistake. Don't manually fill it. That's why these have a circuit condition to only insert fresh spoilage when this belt is getting a bit empty. So much spoilage. So much spoilage. Yeah. The Amako farm is exactly the same, of course. We need a contingency for getting rid of seeds, eventually, once we start getting full of seeds. And we have been ploughing our way through quite a lot of research now that we're getting... now that we're getting a decent amount of Gleban science, we can do things like asteroid productivity, research productivity a lot faster than we were doing before. Oh, I killed some pentapods just because I wanted to see how well the lasers did against pentapods. Let's very quickly run down to the south here, because if you recall last time we filled our legendary mech armor with stuff, a laser's not too good against pentapods, it has to be said, but they're good enough, like this is 10 legendary lasers. So I suppose I shouldn't complain. Are there any more? Are there any pentapods rather than just strafers? Hello? Yeah, like it's not the best, obviously. But it mostly works, I suppose, for what I want, which is just... Oh, I need an egg. I've run out of egg. Not that I've run out of egg in about 100 hours, but still. And their shells stay here, and they also give you egg, so that's not too bad. Yeah, so I mean, I'm happy with it. I'm happy that I redesigned it and it didn't take me anywhere near as long as it did to design these modules. And they seem to be working well. The contingency, like look, this is a very good example. An inserter here would have grabbed this piece of spoilage, but because of this bit of jelly here, because this... Oh god, sorry. Because this jelly here, I'm far too quick for this now, this is impeding any more spoilage from coming down. Whereas if I do this and power it, it will find it, it will grab it. So you can't sort of do a quasi stop everything that's not spoilage from coming through. I mean, you can, but it won't work as foolproof as this works. So, yeah. It's annoying, but it is what it is. So much research! So how many levels of this have we done? We're on level 18 of this, which is giving us about a 3,700 science per minute number if we research something in with the amount of science that we can actually produce. on the regular. So there's one more thing we really need from Gleba at the moment, and that is carbon fibre. We do have a lot of carbon fibre from making it before, but we should automate it because I'm not coming back here just to automate carbon fibre. Thankfully it's very easy, and then we can think about what to do after that. So yeah, here's the carbon fibre. Just pull a belt of the jelly off, wait for it to spoil, turn that into carbon. We could build a space platform around Gleba that just gets carbon from asteroids, but I mean, what is the point? It seems like a lot of work. And get some carbon, and then get some carbon fibre. So we've got carbon fibre being made, not loads. Not loads at all, 48 a minute, but we can always make more if we need to. It's not too much of an imposition to just bung a speed beacon here. In fact, let's do that just because it's funny. It's not powered. Am I going to move this one tile over just to do that? That's ugly and gross. Oh, now it's 578 a minute. These are busted. These are so strong. Never going to use 578 a minute. Okay. So yeah, and then I thought, well, I've got all this bioflux sat on the belt. I may as well plug it into the upcycler just to see what kind of return we would get. And obviously it is miserable, you know. Obviously it is a atrocious way of doing it. You can't do it like this. But the only other way I can see of doing it is recycling capture bot rockets, which the benefit to this, the only benefit to this I can see, which is a fairly huge benefit to be fair, is the fact that you can keep these, you can keep legendary versions of these in a chest and only recycle them when you need the legendary bioflux. You would have to somehow keep the legendary eggs rolling around in a cycle, you know? You'd have to just keep making eggs and then killing the pentapods that spawn from unused legendary eggs. But that's not too egregious, in my opinion. You could do that. Wouldn't be too much to just have a few biolabs cycling eggs that, you know, it's cruel, it's macabre, I'm going to say it again, but you could do it. But then when you have a demand for agricultural science, start recycling your collection of legendary capture bot rockets that you've found, because each one of these will give you 5 legendary bioflux, right? Yeah, the average would be 5 each. So, and then agricultural science only needs 1 bioflux, plus 50% biochamber productivity, plus 100% legendary prod module 3 productivity. You know, it seems like that's going to be the way to go. I just wish I'd have realised that before I demolished the whole Gleban base, because what I've got to do now is find a way to make processing units, steel, and robot frames. I suppose we could... Sorry, I'm thinking about this on the fly. I suppose we could upcycle up until legendary and then bring in legendary steel plates processing units. No, that's not right, because once we've got the legendary one, we don't need it. We're going to get legendary ones from upcycling epic ones, right? We're going to have the epic ingredients in an assembly machine with quality that is going to make it a legendary one. It's not likely we'll get a legend. We'll get some legendary stuff out of. Yeah, that's the other thing, right? Is if we get legendary, if we put an epic capture bot rocket into a recycler, there's a chance we get legendary bioflux, which we should use straight away, as opposed to stashing it. So I suppose we could have some agricultural science being made. We could have a trickle of agricultural science being made every time we recycle a capture bot rocket and it spits out legendary stuff, and then we can very quickly bulk make agricultural science when the rocket is nearby. Like when the Gleben shuttle is nearby and it's sat there waiting for 4,000 legendary agricultural science, then we start recycling all the capture bot rockets. That seems like the way to go. But yeah, as I say, it's irritating because now I have to upcycle capture bot rockets and make steel processing units, and I just tore all of that down, for God's sake. But that's Gleba for you. This is atrocious. Do not do it like this. Do not do it like this. But at least we know everything works. You know, this is a good way of proving that everything works. Got more legendary spoilage than anything. Okay, well that was a fun misadventure. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please let me know with a like or a comment. And if you want to see more Factorio, be sure to subscribe. If you've got any bright ideas, please let me know in the comments, but it's looking like legendary agricultural science is gonna trip me up a bit. Alright, thank you so much, take care, I'll see you next time, bye bye.